Hey, this is Jessica Luther with Coldwell Banker, and I have been receiving a lot of questions recently about what's going on with the housing market and is it crashing and nobody's buying anything and things like that. So I thought I would hop on quick and just address a few of those things and maybe answer some questions you may be having. So, are houses still selling? Yes. Are buyers still buying? Yes, buyers are still buying and houses are still selling. Some houses are taking a little longer to sell, but when you compare what's been happening over the last couple of years, a little longer to sell could be 7 to 14 days as opposed to 1 to 3. So buyers right now, while they are still out there, and yes, interest rates are higher than they've been used to. However, lenders are getting smart with how to offer incentives that help a buyer get into a house now. And if you didn't see my previous video about marry the house, date the rate, that can explain some of that. But they are making some incentives to help you get into a house for a lower cost right now. So buyers right now, again, still buying. Inventory is still low. So while some houses are sitting on the market for longer than they have recently, there are still fewer than normal. Buyers are paying more attention to the price. So there are still some multiple offer situations going on. So if a house is prepped to sell and priced right and in the right location, you may still encounter multiple offers. You may still be competing for that house. But with that, what I mentioned with that is pricing it right. Buyers are paying more attention to that price. It's not such a mad scramble that they just have to throw a bunch of money at it to get the house. They have the time and are taking the time to pull the comparable sales and to make sure they're getting the house for the right price. The listing price is always important, even over the last couple of years, but it's especially important right now. Prepping to sell is very important as well. I always believe in properly preparing your house to sell. As the market has slowed a little, it is even more important than it was over the last couple of years because buyers are taking more time. They want to make sure they're getting a good value. They're paying a high interest rate for this. So prepping your house to sell, cleaning, fixing things, painting, replacing bad or worn, torn carpeting, things like that. Simple things that may not cost a lot, but will be good for the seller's investment on the end. Buyers are paying attention to those. So prepping your house to sell and pricing it right are very important right now. Yes, buyers are still buying. Yes, there may still be some multiple offer situations, but there are certainly fewer. We are also back to being able to negotiate. We can negotiate for houses again. So we've been negotiating up over the last couple of years. We can negotiate some prices down. Buyers and their offers, we're seeing fewer appraisal gaps. That's something we saw so much in the last 1 to 2 years. We're not seeing a lot of appraisal gaps anymore. We also saw a lot of purchases as is with due diligence. I'm sure we saw some without due diligence, but I can never recommend you do that. But as is with due diligence, we're seeing less of that now. Again, while some of it is out there, a lot of contracts are regular due diligence where the buyers do the standard inspections and are able to request the sellers make some repairs. So while the buyers are out there buying, they are not waiving all of the contingencies that we've seen over the last 1 to 2 years. So sellers, still a good time to sell. There's still low inventory and your house is needed in the market. Buyers, a good time to buy. We can negotiate again. You have contingencies and you have lenders that have programs to help you get into a house now. If you have any questions at all, you can always find me at realtorjessicaluther.com.